A bank employee going on a rampage. The same day he learned he would be fired. Scientists who track rising sea levels.
That relates ocean temperature to hurricane intensity.
Also concerned over a rise in severe weather. A place in South Florida where those with disabilities.
So there's a lot of different benefits for people who participate here.
Can get some serious horsepower. And Panthers hope to ride their biggest winning streak of the season all the way into the playoffs.
Here's the trailer, and the Panthers finally are able to put one past.
These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Kenneth Bueno.
I'm Hawa Ezel. Today is Tuesday, April 11th, 2023.
Live from the FIU Lee Kaplan School of Journalism and Media, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Officers using deadly measures to stop a suspect who opened fire inside a bank. Yesterday's mass shooting inside a Louisville, Kentucky bank left at least 5 dead and several others injured, including one officer.
The network's Christy Hernandez is in the control center with what we know this morning.
Another mass shooting yesterday, this time a bank in Louisville, Kentucky, leaving 2 rookie officers in critical condition. Terrifying moments in downtown Louisville. Police say 25-year-old Connor Sturgeon opened fire at Old National Bank Monday morning, killing 4 and injuring 9 others.
Officers were on scene within 3 minutes. The suspect shot at officers. We then returned fire and stopped that threat. The suspect is deceased.
Officials say Sturgeon live-streamed the shooting on Instagram and had been notified that he was going to be terminated from Old National Bank. Among those in critical condition is Louisville police officer Nicholas Wilt, the 26-year-old officer just sworn in less than 2 weeks ago.
Just graduated from the police academy on March 31st. I just swore him in, and his family was there to witness his journey to become a police officer. He was struck in the head, engaged in this incident. Nick has come out of brain surgery and is in critical but stable condition.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says he lost a close friend in the shooting.
We lost 4 children of God today, one of whom was one of my closest friends. Tommy Elliott helped me build my law career, helped me become governor, gave me advice on being a good dad. He's one of the people I talk to most in the world, and very rarely were we talking about my job.
Investigators say they're still trying to determine a motive. In the control center, Christy Hernandez, South Florida Media Network.
Doctors are preparing as a ruling in Texas could ban medication abortion for all states. Mifepristone makes up most of the abortions in the U.S. and is the first pill in a 2-pill process to end pregnancy. Although it's still legal, some doctors are already afraid to prescribe it in case it becomes legal in the near future. Dozens of biotech and pharmaceutical leaders are calling for the reversal of the ruling.
Here in Florida, protesters against an abortion ban bill secured a permit to rally outside a courthouse near where some of them were recently arrested. Nearly a dozen members of the group Occupy Tally were arrested last week for protesting at City Hall. The Florida State House is expected to discuss the abortion ban bill this week, and if it makes it through the House, it will head right to the desk of Governor Ron DeSantis.
A recent NASA report shows near-record warming in 2022. And a special assignment report, the network's Sabrina Begerstein, shows us what climate change could mean for the upcoming severe weather events.
From advocacy to political policy, people are running towards Capitol Hill to seek solutions for global warming. NASA isn't the only agency sounding the alarm. The UN reports the world is on thin ice. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration recently released a report confirming what many scientists say we've known for years. Methane is one of the leading causes of warmer weather. This gas traps heat 87 times more than carbon dioxide. Landfills, oil and natural gas systems, and livestock are the most common methane emissions. Dr. Hugh Willoughby, who's been a working meteorologist since 1970, says this warmer weather has been causing intense hurricanes over the span of many years.
Carrie Emanuel published a paper in the 80s that relates hurricane temperature, ocean temperature, to hurricane intensity. And there's no reason to doubt that that isn't right. I consider it the greatest advance in understanding of the field in the last 50 years.
NASA emphasizes that global warming is a present problem causing intense heat waves, sea ice loss, and sea level rise. Meet Anna Weber, who works on climate adaptation, which is addressing the threats climate change poses on communities, both now and in the future.
On the other hand, we have climate adaptation, and sometimes people think about adaptation almost as giving up, that we're just throwing up our hands and saying that, well, we can't prevent the problem from happening, so we're just going to have to live with it. And really, that could not be farther from the truth. So regardless of what we do and how many greenhouse gases we mitigate from going into the atmosphere, the effects of climate change are already here. They are already affecting us. They are affecting all of us, whether we know it or not. And we all have work that we can do to better prepare ourselves and our families and our community and our country to reduce the harms that these effects would have. And that can be anything from taking steps to make sure that you and your family are more prepared for extreme weather, all the way up to advocating with your local, state, and federal representatives to make sure that we are doing more as a country to prepare for the effects of climate change.
FIU student Naila Alcocere Martos is a legislative intern at the office of Florida Congresswoman Kathy Castor. She is learning the inner workings of environmental and climate policy, where she hopes to one day make one of her own.
Specifically, that I would like to see would relate to energy and also food production, because that is an aspect I feel some people neglect, because no matter where you're located, rising temperatures, other impacts of climate change, food production is going to be a real problem if we're not able to mitigate the effects of climate change.
Weber mentioned that in her line of work, there's something called climate smart decisions, when you take the information of what you know about climate change and apply it to your everyday choices, whether that's using public transportation instead of your car one day, or starting a recycling bin in your office. These choices are little but mighty when it comes to climate care. I'm Sabrina Begerstein in Washington, D.C. for the South Florida Media Network.
In sports now, the Miami Marlins are looking to bounce back after a heavy loss on the road versus the Philadelphia Phillies. The Fish just could not find their rhythm after giving a rather poor performance in Philly, where they were able to only score in the 7th inning while the Phillies scored in what seemed to be every single inning. The final score was Phillies 15, Marlins 3. The Marlins look for redemption in the second game of their 3-game series today at 6:40 p.m.
The Panthers didn't win last night either, but they are keeping their playoff hopes alive. A third-period goal forced overtime, and even the visiting Toronto Maple Leafs won the game 2-1. The Panthers got 1 point for the overtime loss. The Panthers are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs with a win in the last game of the season at home against the Carolina Hurricanes.
The mayor of Tampa hands the keys to the city over to a pop star.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
So there's a lot of different benefits for people who participate here.
A look inside a South Florida ranch with a commitment to service. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Bill is a family man. He invests his money wisely and provides a good life for his children. Just one problem. He often opens emails from senders he doesn't know, and his computer is not password protected. One day, Bill checked his bank account and 94% of malware attacks originate from emails. Don't be like Bill. Take your cybersecurity seriously.
in the saddle. South Floridians who have faced challenges are getting their chance to hold onto the reins. Whispering Manes is a Southwest Miami-Dade therapeutic riding center whose horses and volunteers serve people with disabilities.
These are their stories through the lens of photojournalists Jasmine Aroca and Oscar Aviles.
Whispering Manes was founded in 2011 by a philanthropist named Nancy Hector. She believed there was a need for this type of program in the community, and at that point she hired the first executive director, and we taught our first lesson in January 2012. My name is Robin Bramson. I'm the program director here. I have been here since we opened, and I taught the first lesson here. There are many benefits to people who participate in this program. The benefits can come from learning how to interact with horses. You can develop new communication skills. You also get to develop your physical skills. You can improve core strength and your range of motion. You have to learn to follow directions. So there's a lot of different benefits for people who participate here.
Up and over. Good job, Aiden. Well done.
We actually have been blessed by Robin. We were given a grant for 8 weeks for our students to come and participate and be part of the program to learn horseback riding and horsemanship and take care of the horses.
Okay. Fly mask so she can see completely.
The horses are like all really kind. Yeah, I like riding the horses. They just like make it fun for like everyone. And yeah, we'd like to come here again.
My favorite horse is, actually I have two favorites. It's a Appaloosa and my second favorite is Honey. I learned how to work the horse. I learned how to walk the horse and how to stop the horse.
I've been volunteering here for about 2 months now, and I love horses, I love children. I grew up in a special needs community, so working here is very special and very comfortable for me. I think this organization benefits the kids that come to ride in a way that they can connect with someone or something without having to use words. So they have that time on the horse by themselves together and connecting, and they don't have to worry about social cues or hiding ticks or anything like that. They live a little bit of a chaotic life with a lot of obstacles, but when you're on a horse, all of that fades away. It's just you and the horse.
Turning to entertainment news, Taylor Swift can now add mayor to her illustrious resume. Tampa Mayor Jane Castor announced on Monday via Twitter that she is giving Taylor Swift a key to the city, making her mayor for the day. This comes days before the singer is set to play at Raymond James Stadium for a 3-day concert as part of her Eras tour. You're watching SFMN Newsbreak. We'll be coming right back.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how the dog was looking at me?
Radcliffe Art and Design Incubator is the velocity accompanying the fellow's rudder, as in a boat. Unless there is movement or action, the planned direction is of little consequence. We encourage the creative ideas into action, and from the experience of doing, we critically assess the feedback, adjust, and set out to rediscover the potentialities of an entrepreneurial mindset.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Hawa Ezel.
And I'm Kenneth Bueno. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.